Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NJCAAE stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Coach QK, and I am super excited to be here this week as we've got a complete banger of a matchup. We've got Bryant and Stratton College. As we start getting into it, looks like we will be starting on well here. So this is going to be an exciting matchup. You see both sides instantly lock Lucio. Very, very typical for Ilios. Got that well to boot people into, and looks like the BSC Bobcats, they are flirting with that idea of pulling out that Roadhog, especially on well. We'll have to see if Johnston College keeps with the diva here. See much more of a dive-centric coming out from Johnston College. They're going to really try and focus on getting onto this Junkrat and backline and looking for those kills. But they've got to be careful of Jimmicle and Set on those boops into the hole that just give free kills. Johnston College reaches point first here, and you see Jimmicle take his spot. He's looking for the hook right now. He doesn't really want to get Diva until after the boosters are gone, however. The hook is gone. This is the time that Johnston College wants to get offensive here, but the Maywall comes in, zoning him off, and Slater makes a very interesting play going in deep, and he ends up trading his life for it, but at the same time, Slater does pick up a kill on Waifu Enjoyer, which does equal things out here. This May into the Diva is going to be real rough matchup here for Fast, and he's going to lose mech. Looks like BSC is going to cap this first point and start getting points on the board. We really need to get... Johnston College really needs to get Fast back into a mech here. If they lose a baby Diva, this is going to be a lot of percent off the board. And just like that, Jimmicle walks in, hits the hook, cleans them up, and we're already back. You know, we're 30% down, and Slater's still picking up kills here. Bryant and Stratton really in a dominant spot here as they fall back to point. 40% up, and that was only off of first fight. Gonna have quite a few ultimates as Blizzard is coming online here. And really, Johnston College doesn't have a lot of ults going for him. The closest one here is Caven, and he's got the Amp Matrix coming in. Manuel's gonna have to be careful with this Blizzard. We do not want to see it get eaten. And Coalescence does get popped from Prada, and Fast leaves the back of his team at that Coalescence, and that is going to create quite a bit of chaos as Johnston College kind of gets split apart and starts falling here. Johnston College Diamond Flex just trying to get that blade online, but it's real hard. I mean, even when he does get it online, he's not going to have a great blade target as Moira's just going to fade away. You know, Lucio's already a hard target to get. May's going to just ice block. You know, you're going to look at this Junkrat and potentially the Roadhog, and that just feels bad if you're swinging at a Roadhog. Looks like they're grouping up here. Good dive coming in onto Slater. However, he just backs right up the point. Oh, a big trap, and that's going to force out the remech here. But the Blizzard comes out the moment that Fast gets demeched, and yeah, BSC is just going to clear this round up, and we're looking at a map too, you know? That comp was just meant to kind of negate dive, and it did a really good job, you know? The Diva really wasn't able to have a true dive target other than the Genji, and Genji is very rough because Genji wants to get onto those supports, and as a Genji, you're going to have a hard time getting on top of a Moira and a Lucio. So looks like we are now onto the second map here of Ilios. looks like we're gonna see Johnston College swap it up to more of a poke comp here. I like this personally. I think this is a good call. The Genji really wasn't able to get much, so hopefully this Ashe and Hanzo will be able to find some picks. Hopefully there might be some Hanzo gaming moments that will just reward them with some headshots that, you know, will really be beneficial. And Prada instantly takes out Waifu Enjoyer. Must have been a nice shot coming out from the Zen there with the 5 orb. Almost gets a headshot as Manuel is forced to block. The flank Junkrat almost comes off. He does force Lamp, but ends up trading his life for it. And now this Ryan can just kind of walk free. There's not really any pressure that can be applied to him other than the Roadhog hook. No point has been capped yet, but Johnston College is just kind of cleaning it up here. Just Jimical on point, and he does pick up 2, which is pretty big. And this Roadhog does have a lot of sustain with self-heal, especially with no Ana being run into him. Except really should just be, you know, still no point cap at this point, which is crazy to see as the first fight is already ended and the second fight's kind of just slowly starting. Slater ends up getting the kill on Blep, and that might turn the tide of things. However, Diamond Geek finds a big kill onto Slater in return, and this fight is just, you know, gonna keep going. However, Whole Hog comes out, and that will for sure be the end of Johnston's stall as BSC does take point here. And now this is a tough situation to be in because the Roadhog here has free hooks off the side of the map if you try and push in. Waifu Enjoyer does get caught out way too far forward. He needs to fall back with his team there. See the life grip be used to get Mei into position. That is an interesting one, but does work out as Manuel picks up the kill on Caven. We're taking too many 1v1s here, and it's getting them caught out in uncomfortable situations. Without Caven, you can't really force a push in here, and that's going to be at least another 15% before Johnston College can really make a push. And yet again, Slater picks up another 2 big stagger kills and rips Tire instantly. However, Roadhog is pushed in, but the Mei wall does come out and saves Jimical here. Already working up his way to that second Whole Hog in the map. See, we do see three, almost 4 ults here coming out for Johnston. They're gonna have to use some of these ults just to get towards that point, and they're gonna have to find a way to negate this Mei Blizzard also while being able to do damage through Zen Trance. It's gonna be an uphill battle here, but however, Slater going down early is a very big start. You see the Blizzard come out, and it's a big Blizzard, but Beat comes out with should cover their defenses and give them a little bit of time here. Looks like BSC gives up point. They pop the Trance on hopes of just keeping them alive, and they invest Tree into this. They do not want to lose this fight, even though they have already given up point. However, because of the investment, they're starting to turn it. Waifu Enjoyer gets 1, however Fast gets stuck in a trap, and you know, this Junkrat, it's meant to burn the shield, and this Mei, Ryans don't like playing into Mei too much, and you know, BSC Bobcats managed to turn it. Heavy investment here, though. They'll be going into this next fight with 0 ults. A big Dragon or a big Amplification field, or even the Bastion ult could be a change here and give Johnston College another way into this game. Manuel with some beautiful shots onto Blep, though, and Caven instantly falls, but he does get the wall out. It's just not going to be enough as BSC finds kill after kill. Jimical just playing ring around the rosy with Waifu Enjoyer, and there's no touch to even finish the round, but even if he did touch, he was only 30 HP, so that was going to be a tough stall out anyways. BSC really just looked really comfortable. They forced fights, they kept getting stagger kills, and you know, Johnston College never really took the time to reset, and that's going to be map 1, and looks like we are going to be going to map 2. Not sure what the pick is, but it will be a hybrid. So the way map picks work here in NJCAAE is essentially winner will now get to ban a map from hybrid, and then will proceed to, or the loser will proceed to choose from the map pool that is left. I would definitely think that Johnston College is going to try and play something a little more brawly. However, they also did start with that dive comp, so, maybe there is an out there as well. It'll be very interesting to see kind of what the bans are and what the approach is on how to attack this next map. Big takeaways from Ilios is, Johnston College really needs to not stagger. Staggering is like a massive difference there. That second map, they did a slightly better job, but they still only really got 3 whole team fights. That first team fight looked so convincing in their favor. I would have loved to see them just cap point early, start getting those percent. Even as the point trickles, you can at that point proceed to stagger on. Build your ults while you're increasing that overall score, and hopefully give you an out when you go back, and so you only have to cap once and you win the game. However, staggers in that mid game, especially not after capping the point the first time, really came back to haunt them, as it, Slater just kept finding stagger after stagger with those Junkrat mines. So it'll be interesting to see how they, make some changes and if they adapt here or where they decide to go. I will say that they definitely did seem to be more comfortable playing that brawl comp against the kind of obnoxious Roadhog play coming out from Jimical here. So maybe if you can find a way to force him off, maybe get an Ana swap in there to get some nades on him, we might see a totally different look. I'm going through map picks right now, so we should know what this next map is going to be here soon. I will say Manual on that May also created a lot of issues, so maybe that will be a deterrence to not go to King's Row. He was hitting a lot of really nice shots and impactful shots, often picking supports very early in fights. Looks like we are going to send it to break here while they're going through map picks and bans, letting Johnston College take a moment to think about where they want to go next. So we will be back with map 2 here in the next couple minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's Coach KQ, your Coach QK here again, and we're in an exciting one here. Brian Stratton took Ilios 2-0 in pretty dominant fashion, but I don't think it was as dominant as it should have been. There were a lot of good stagger kills coming out from Slater and Manuel, and that really kind of just set the tone for what felt like almost a snowball in a way. Going into map 2, I hope Johnston College has, noticed that they're kind of staggering a little too much. And, map pick has come in and we're going to everyone's favorite. We're going to the hybrid that has been the competition king since Overwatch 1 pre-beta. We're going into Kings Row, which is kind of a surprising choice, as Manuel did play a quite decent Mei on Ilios, and I'm expecting to see it again. However, we might see something new come out here. We do see Johnston College, come out with kind of this poke comp again, a little more shield breaky this time, which, I think is always a good thing in the current meta, especially on Kings Row, because Kings Row can just be so dominant with Reinhardt Mei, that having a little more pressure is always good. But as I say that, Manuel does walk to the Bastion, which instantly gives BSC shield break pressure in this match. We do see Iliari for the first time today, and both teams are going to run her, so there's going to be a lot of damage coming out. Brian Scranton going for the Sim TP strat, didn't pull it off, so it looks like they're going to put him in high ground here, and Manuel instantly turret forms and picks up Blep as Prada gets Waifu Enjoyer again. We saw that at the beginning of the second map of Ilios too, where Prada instantly got Waifu Enjoyer, and this is just going to be trouble for Johnston College here. BSC should have a full cap here with no problem, and a very quick cap coming out in almost 55 seconds. So they're going to start pushing the cart. Slater swaps off the Sim straight over to Torb. So going to have a lot of, auto aim pressure here. And this comp can be suffocating. There's a lot of healing coming out from that BAP. There's a lot of healing coming out from that burst of the turret. It'll be a tough one for them to get into. They're going to really be relying on fast shatters here. And Blep falls again to Manuel. Manuel's just finding these picks so early, and Shatter gets invested. Can it swing? Diamond Geek already fell, putting him in a 3v5 situation. This is just so hard. And Jimical only just has to stand there holding his shield, and that is just going to be a quick cleanup. Waifu Enjoyer really can't die here. He needs to fall back. If he dies here, that's probably all of second point. Fall back here, you get at least one, maybe two more fights. But, man, BSC's putting on a clinic right now at this bunker. Getting a lot of free push. I wish Chemical and Slater had pushed up a little bit. Manuel does find Blep. However, Diamond Geek does kill quite a lot of the facilities, and that'll be a quick little cleanup. Diamond Geek took a very nice flank there, and Waifu Enjoyer hits a big dynamite because they're all standing on cart. I really think if BSC pushed up and took that corner right on where point is, that fight could have gone completely different. They had, zero ults invested in that fight. It was just a complete dry fight, and BSC kind of threw their lead there. So, now they've got to find a way back in. But as I say that, Waifu Enjoyer overextends and dies. We do see the Iliari all get popped, and there's a lot of damage coming in as it does find one, but, Turret Bastion for him just does so much work on fast shield. If he's got out in the open, he's gonna die. And that's going to be point 2 right there. There's not even going to be a chance to recontest, and Johnston College does have a way back in. They have, they're almost to Bob, which is good, but they are going to have the Iliari ult, and they are going to have Railgun here, which is, two pretty big ults, especially Railgun being able to just one-tap people. They're going to have to find a way to get around this window Bastion, though. It's going to be a lot of damage, and as I say that, here it comes out, and Manuel just starts melting here. Prada just puts that right on cart. Oh, Waifu Enjoyer is in a very bad spot. Yep, gets caught out, and he's totally gonna die here. And he has Bob too, which is really bad, and he goes down to the Torb ult. Oh no. Yeah, it's just such a hard comp to break. But as I say that, Caven pops off! Holy cow! The Illyariel ends up getting all 5. Well, 4, but does the damage of the 5th and fast cleans up. Kind of steals his 5k and steals his thunder. What a play! Caven at the last moment of the Dark Knight rises and saves his team, giving him another chance at holding off BSC here. Set picks up Blep though, and that's yet again the BAP dying first, and that's going to be hard. You're going to have to invest the Bob here. Fast hits a nice shatter into the backline, however, does not hit Jimical, so he just gets to stand there. Jimical almost gets pooped off the map from that charge, which would have been very funny and unfortunate for him. You know, you see the reverse Illyariel coming out here, and the window's up again, and that's just going to be so much damage. Slater did drop onto the Mei after the Torb ult, and, you know, only makes that bunker comp even stronger. It's going to be a very impressive 321 on King's Row. And the craziest part about that is I think they could have even done it faster if they took the corners, or if they took the corners a little more aggressively with their tank positioning, you know, and if Caven didn't pull out a massive play on the side of Johnston College, you know, that's kind of been their star so far in this series, is Caven making plays for him when it really matters. You know, it's a lot of shield break. I'd like to see Johnston College do something of the same idea, especially knowing that Manuel probably runs Mei here on defense. I'd be very surprised to see him playing anything else unless they stick him on the Bastion and throw Slater on the Mei. The DPS from BSC they're just putting on a clinic here. Now it is early, but BSC could be trolling us. You know, we have a very dive-centric comp. However, this comp also does work on King's Row pretty well, especially if you're getting into the backline with this Ball Tracer Sombra. You know, it's a pretty potent dive, and nobody really should be able to live, and it looks like this might be what they're looking to run here. It's not your typical run or run-of-the-mill comp. It's going to make Fast have to play either extremely aggressive to trade the backline on this Zen, or he's going to have to play extremely defensive to help his supports out here. However, you are running Caven on Ana and Blep on the BAP, which means that, you know, those are pretty self-sufficient supports here. Big sleep and Anti coming out instantly, and Jimical has to just leave. Diamond Geek does start farming here, however, Blep ends up dying quickly to, I believe it was the Sombra hack, and yeah, the Slater and Manuel, Sombra Tracer just choosing a target and diving on top of him, making it very difficult for Johnston College to move here. Looks like you do see the dive straight to, or you see the swap from Johnston College onto the Monkey here and onto the dive. I do like the Kiriko pick, because that is going to help them out with this dive quite a bit. You're going to only have to deal with the ball, which hopefully the Echo will be able to burn. Good wall riding coming out there from Set, and Slater finds Blep again. The target calling from Bryant and Stratton has been super good on these supports. Diamond Geek picks up Prada though, and this could be the swap. He is low. He's gonna need some help healing here. However, that's already down the Zen. That is the main heal. If they can just find the pick on Set, which they do, they can come into this next fight very quickly and should be able to find an entry here. You might see Pulse Bomb come out, and that might throw a hitch into things, however, as the Monkey is getting low. But Manuel goes down. Diamond Geek is starting to pop on this Genji. He's finding the kills he needs, and he's getting entry for his team. The ball will be coming in, and EMP is almost online. He rips it instantly, and this might flop it as Slater picks up Blep and Jimical picks up Caven, which means no supports. And no supports in the comp with Monkey and Genji. That's going to be a rough time as Monkey has to retreat here. On the bright side, Johnston College does get a tick, and they are coming up on all of their ults here. So, you know, you get EMP out for almost free, but you do lose the fight, so... Ooh, Slater playing with fire as he barely gets out of there. Gonna have to be forced to go back to this Mega. It should be a good time for Johnston College to look at for a go here. This Zen is very susceptible to dive. However, Manuel picks up a kill on Waifu Enjoyer, but Lucio just taking the skybox and winning, and Manuel cleans up. I feel like there was maybe a little bit too passive of a play there going on from Johnston College. Maybe they didn't have monkey jump, but it's unfortunate to see as they could have had an easy kill onto the Zen there. Oh, and we see mines get used, and that is a rough spot to be in if you are Caven. You gotta look for a TP out here, and he's not gonna find it. Mines at the door, pick up 4, and Jamical picks up Waifu Enjoyer, which means he gets a 5K. Kind of making Caven play for getting the 4K, almost 5K on defense, but you know, now he flips the script a little bit. Echo Alt does come out and does copy the Sombra. If he can get EMP online here, that would be pretty big. Looks like Kiriko, Rush, and Blade come out. Gonna start getting another point cap here. They should have a second tick online. He's gonna need to use this Primal, and he needs to go in. He should be zoning off the Zen here, and he's doing a good job keeping him off point. However, Jimical's just on point. He's just chilling. And Manuel picks up Blep in the back with Jimical. Blep yet again, the first dead. Bryant and Scranton dives have just been so clean onto Blep. You can tell that they have definitely been focused on using this, and Slaker invests EMP here. It is last fight, but I would have kind of liked to see it used on maybe if there was a potential touch, like a Tracer coming in or a Lucio. But, you know, does invest it, and it won't end up haunting them anyways, as BSC does pull out the full hold. So a much different look from Ilios, as you know, Ilios was very stagger oriented. This was much more just brute force on offense, and then very good target focus on defense. You know, running that dive comp can sometimes be a risk on Kings Row, but Brian Scranton pulled it off very well. Going into map 3 here, could be the third and final map, so Johnston College is really going to have to take some time and think about how they're going to find a way to get past this DPS duo that Bryant Scranton's thrown at them. You know, the dives have just been so good onto Blep. They've got to find a way to keep him alive, whether it be, you know, him investing in Mortality Field, or maybe he doesn't play that character at all and he just goes something like Moira for more survivability. It'll be definitely interesting to see, because going into Escort, you know, you just watched Bryant Scranton play a pretty dominant bunker comp with that Bastion Torb, you know, Reinhardt, and now they've got to move the payload again. So hopefully they can find a way to get around this here, whether it be diving through that back line or just maybe poking them out. But, you know, they've got to find a way in. So it looks like Bryant Scranton will be banning again. And then it will be Johnston College choice. We will take a short break as map picks come in, and from there we will have our third match. Hello and welcome back to map 3 of this fast-paced series so far between Johnston Community College and Bryant and Stratton College here. Bryant and Stratton currently up 2-0 after taking Ilios in relatively dominant fashion, forcing a lot of staggers, and then proceeding to run an incredible dive defense on Kings Row that, really just suffocated Johnston here. Map picks have been in, and we are headed to Havana for escort as Johnston College does their best here to fend off the 3-0 sweep and, force a map 4 and potentially look at a reverse sweep here. They definitely do have the potential to do it. We've seen some incredible plays coming out from Caven on Iliari. We've seen some incredible plays from Diamond Geek on the Genji. Fast 101 has been really holding his own on the tank lineup here. But on the flip side of this, Bryant and Stratton, Manuel and Slater are just putting on a show on their DPS role right now. They're diving the correct targets and, really forcing the backline of Johnston College here to be in a really tough spot. It'll be interesting to see what they run with here. I mean, we've seen dive, we've seen poke, we've seen brawl. And Havana, we're starting to get these long sight lines. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Widow get pulled out here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Bastion bunker comp that we just saw in Kings Row. It's going to be very exciting to see what these two teams decide to run here and what they've practiced. I really hope to see a defense that holds spawn doors. Havana, you can have just suffocating first point defense on those spawn doors. There's 3 exits, but man, when you get a May going in there and you have Orion swinging, it honestly just feels like one, and you just have to brute force your way onto that point. So it'll be interesting to see what strats these teams have cooked up for the start here. We should be loading into map here relatively soon. Yeah, the May play from Bryant and Stratton College has been very good, and has been on relatively difficult, or like on Ilios, for example, relatively difficult map to force May on, but going into Kings Row and then making the swap from that May Bastion comp over to the Tracer Sombra and pulling off dives that ended up making Blip die first. Almost every single fight was quite impeccable. And, the Bryant Stratton support line, Prada is also doing an incredible job getting early picks on whether it be Zen, Bap, or the Iliari. It's been quite impressive. And Set on the Lucio, taking out a Echo Lucio, pretty impressive. Lots of skybox riding. It's been a good show from all the players here today as we get into map 3, and it'll be exciting to see what they come out with and how they react to a longer sightline map. Now we are just in loading screen, but we do see a Doomfist here. And as a avid Doomfist not liker, we hoping he swaps. Doomfist is such a niche character. He can have such high impact, but he can also just get negative value. But Jimical might make me eat my words here, as he might pop off on this, as it looks like he is going to take this out of spawn. Running it into the Diva Bastion, however, he might think about a swap here eventually. Like he starts going in, he does take control of this pink card. Good space created, waiting for those cooldowns to come back up. He's just going all the way to the back. I think he was expecting a Widowmaker here. However, Slaker picks up Blep again. It's such an early kill, but Caven does trade it for Prada, which is a big value trade here. Does give potential for Johnston College to fight this. Later finds Caven though. That's both supports down, and that should be an instant go for Bryant and Stratton here. You see the Doomfist did go in, but didn't have quite the follow-up. It doesn't matter. Slater on this Ashe is just farming right now. Picks up another 2 kills, and that's going to be a lot of push. Fast really needs to find a way in, get his mech back. Oh no, Slater kills him before remech. That's going to be a long period of time that he has to now wait. This is a lot of free push coming out, and Slater has just kind of taken this game over so far. Somebody's got to have to cool him down. Pharah is going to be rough and coming out from this left-hand side. A lot of spam damage coming in. See the Iliari also set get popped, and it does hit a lot of people. And with that Doomfist follow-up, it's going to be a very quick team wipe here as Brighton Scranton does take point. 5 minutes on the clock, but you know, first point, it's difficult to cap, but you know, not impossible. But this second point is really difficult to kind of push through. This could be a make or break of how the map goes here, and Caven does pick up Jimical really early. Well, unfortunate for Jimical as he's almost to that Doomfist ult. Prada and Manuel do go on the flank. Does find Blep, but Diamond Geek and Fast are aware of what's going on and trade the kills here, and that should give them the opening to stall this cart here. Slater throws Bobbin though, and that, you know, might be enough damage, and it does. It gets Fast out of mech and gets the kill. And Jimical dives in and gets the kill. Somebody's got to just put a stop to Slater here. He's just doing so much. You almost have to see Diamond Geek and Fast do a dive onto him here as he's just free reigning on his team. Caven does have the Iliari ult. Maybe he can pull off some heroics like that King's Row game. And you see no ults on the side, however, you're coming up on Valkyrie and the Iliari ult, so Manuel finds the kill on Waifu Enjoy, and it's gonna be tough as there's gonna be no entrance here. You can't dive this with no damage, and Fast already out of mech again, and they're gonna just get the second point with really only one fight and 2 ults invested. So great job and a big push coming out here. There's not really been an answer to Slater because I think they've been so focused with this Doomfist and Pharmacy that Slater's just getting free shots in the backline. Manuel gets the spawn camp. You gotta hit C. They put that into the game so you can change. You gotta back on that. Now you're in a 4v5 situation. Brighton Scranton just pushing their advantage here, using the Iliari ult early. Doesn't end up getting anyone, however, so this is good. However, Fast gets the kill on set, and that could be the opening. Manuel is in the backline and does solo while Blep is just having a rough time with these Brighton Scranton supports. We've got to find some peel for him. Diamond Geek does come, but it's already too late, and it looks like it was enough, though, with Jimical being dead, that they were able to reset this here. Fast pushes up and loses mech, though. Has to invest his self-destruct here just so he can re-mech. And Manuel finds Caven as the tank in this Pharah just diving into the backline. Blep gets revenge onto Jimical, though, but Manuel turns his attention back to the front line and trades tanks. Having res advantage here is also kind of an issue. You're gonna have to see a blade get invested here, and there's nothing really to buff this blade, so it will be a dry blade. Probably gonna look for it with Iliari ult. That's exactly what happens. He does combo it quite nicely and gets the kill, but Set does find it, and there's that res advantage. Slater instantly back onto the battlefield, and Manuel just uncontested at the moment as Waifu's stuck in spawn. And this is where the Pharah can really shine, you know? There's not really a way to get a line of sight on him. He just has free reign as Slater fires pop shots from the back. And we see a very fast and dominant push coming out from Brighton Scranton here. Everyone doing their job perfectly. You know, the Doomfist not really meant to get kills in this comp, as we just saw, you know? It has the potential to do a lot of damage, but if they can get people to turn around, Slater has free reign, and Manuel and Prada can just use that Pharmacy and abuse them as they're paying attention to this Doomfist in the backline. Gonna really have to see somebody kind of put a stop to, you know, either ignore Jimical here and just focus those DPS down, or potentially just burn the tank and then focus on the main problem. But you just keep losing people so early, it's really becoming an issue for Johnston College here, as now they're looking at a 307 against them, and they've got to find a way to get it all 3 points here. And Havana, not the most friendly attacker-sided map. Looks like you're going to see double fly coming. Oh, no, we were baited. We were baited. Gonna run Slater on the Widowmaker, kind of what I said. Widow very dominant on this map, and you know, with this long sight line here, can play relatively uncontested and not have to worry too much about being in the action. With that being said, Johnston College coming out on a very strange comp as they're running Sojourn Bastion, but then they have a Monkey as their tank. Maybe they're trying to take the same kind of look that Bryant Scranton did with the tank diving in and creating a distraction while opening up room for their DPS to play. Gonna be pretty difficult here, however, as the Pharah, you know, isn't really a great dive target, and Mercy's gonna be with the Pharah most of the time. So you're really only diving with the Widow, and doesn't look to be that Fast is really concerned with the Widow at the moment. The Lifeweaver is more of his issue, and he finds Lifeweaver as Bluff gets the kill on Prada. He even finds manually, and this is going very well for Johnston College as they've created openings here in the back through picks, and that's going to be a lot of push. They're going to get it up to probably get to a recontest on the corner here. Manuel does swap off the Pharah and onto the Echo, so gonna have quite a bit more burst damage coming out here with Echo Beam and Sticky Bombs. Anyone who gets low is gonna be in a lot of danger. The Doomfist sitting in the back waiting, but oh, Waifu Enjoyer gets headshot from across the map, and that's gonna be a quick kill. A good lamp comes out that saves Cave in there, but Blutt pays for his life for it, and Slater finds the kill on the Widow, and this is going to be a one-team fight for Bryant and Scranton. They entered that fight really well. Slater hit some big shots to open that up. You know, once you lose your Bastion, that's a lot of damage just out of the picture, and kind of gives you the go to enter on that if you're the Echo, so good play there coming out from Slater. See Anthracite get popped, and that's going to make them back up a little bit. Oh, Fast gets so low, but there's just enough healing to support him here. And Jimical goes in. He does have the ult, and oh no, is he going to pick up the kill too? He does. No, he finds 3 off of that aggressive play. They also ended up investing the Echo ult here. I don't think that was needed. Probably a little bit of an overcommit. Might have been a fat finger, however. That was probably not needed. And also, Mercy Velk gets popped very early on the side of Bryant and Scranton. Maybe they're wanting to look to hold this door very aggressively as they invest Tree as well. They're looking to win this fight at the door and kind of get a spawn hold going here. Chemical just gets melted by the Bastion there, and that is going to create yet another opening as spawn advantage is now on the side of Johnston College. Manuel finds both supports with Sticky Bombs, and they're just still stuck in this ever evolving loop. Every time they trade a tank, they lose both supports. And Johnston College is going to have to find an in here. They had a great start, but, you know, 3 ults. I would expect to see Nano Monkey come out here pretty soon. Hopefully find an insta-kill onto one of their diveable targets. Good grab coming out from Set there, but Diamond Geek does find Manuel, and that could be the entrance they need. Railgun does get popped very quickly, and Blep SWAT has had enough on the BAP. He's over to the Brig. And Diamond Geek finds Slater, and that's a big kill as Slater's been doing a lot on this defensive side. Fast is pushed up here really early, and yeah, he's gonna end up paying for it. That damage boosted Echo does a lot here. Manuel does use the copy onto the Sojourn, and just is gonna start going to town. Already is charged overclock with that increased ult charged, and picks up 2, and now Fast is in a rough situation after dying early. He's got to force himself into Primal just to hit stall, but I don't know if that's going to be enough as Manuel just hits a bunch of Sticky Bombs, and that's going to be map, and that's going to be a 3-0 sweep in favor of Bryant and Scranton College there. A very impressive performance coming out from their DPS. You can tell that they've definitely practiced their dive characters, and you know, they've practiced this strat of having the tank go in and create mayhem while the DPS just reign free. Very impressive play coming out from them. Johnston College did a good job on doing their best to combat it, but it was just too much in the end, and sometimes that can be a little bit difficult. We are going to try and attempt to get an interview here. Hopefully we can get one of the players from Bryant and Stratton to come on in and, ask them some questions on their, big win and their performance today. That will move Bryant and Stratton College to 3-0 on the season. Well, it moves Johnston College to 1-1. They do have a game that they need to make up with Northwest Florida State College, and hopefully they'll find a win there, put them at 2-1 on the season for a nice little boost here. However, Bryant and Stratton, really good staggers. They did a good job coming out, taking care of business. And, you can tell that they came ready to play today. They were practiced. They had all the answers for everything that Johnston College was trying to throw at them. There was some standout plays from Diamond Geek, Caven Fast. There was some big plays there that came out that, extended the period of time. But overall, just wasn't enough to overcome that crazy DPS duo that Manuel and Slater put on. So we're going to send it to break as we hopefully get an interview, but we will see what they say here. All right, welcome back, everyone. We just finished up our NJCAAE match of the week between Johnston Community College and Bryant Stratton College. Bryant Stratton put on quite an impressive show, getting a nice 3-0 sweep of Johnston College here. They have declined to do an interview, and so unfortunately we won't be able to hear from the winners themselves on how they cooked up their strats this week and how well they prepared. But that's all right. As there's a lot of season left to play, maybe they don't want to give away all those strats just quite yet. So, that is going to probably be it from us today, and I hope you all enjoyed the match. I enjoyed casting it. It was a super fun match to watch. We got to see Dive. We got to see May on Ilios. We got to see Dive defense on King's Row. We got to see the bunker comp, and we even saw Doomfist and Alari kind of make their debuts here in this NJCAAE season as. Iliari, new character. Some teams might not want to pick her up right away, but both teams more than capable of using her and, popping off, making some big plays. Great performance from both teams, and I hope they have good luck on the rest of their season. They'll be exciting to watch, and hopefully come postseason, I'll get to cast some more with them. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys had as much fun watching as I did casting.